Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the AFC North lately, you've probably heard some explosive rumors swirling around the Cleveland Browns and their star pass rusher, Myles Garrett. Yes, that's right, the dominant edge rusher who's been wreaking havoc in the league since he was drafted in 2017. And the buzz is that the Browns, despite their struggles this season, might be considering a bold move trading Garrett to the Steelers. Sounds crazy, right? But let's break down why this could be the biggest shakeup in the division in years, and how it might actually be a game-changer for Pittsburgh. First, you gotta understand the context. The Browns are sitting at 3-8 right now, and their defense is leaking points at an alarming rate, giving up nearly 4 points per game. That's not exactly what you'd call a fortress, especially when you have a player of Garrett's caliber on the roster. Cleveland is also sitting on about $22 million in cap space, but they've got some other pressing issues, like a pending deal for Nick Chubb and needs at receiver and defensive back. So their front office might be looking at a rebuild or at least some serious restructuring, and trading Garrett could be part of that plan. Now, why would the Steelers be interested? Well, for starters, Myles Garrett is a game wrecker. Over his 9-year career, he's accumulated 106 sacks, 500 pressures, and has been a constant nightmare for quarterbacks, no matter who's under center. His ability to disrupt plays and collapse the pocket is on a different level. Imagine him lining up opposite T.J. Watt. That's a duo that could dominate offensive lines across the league. And let's be honest, the Steelers have been searching for that kind of consistent, game-changing pass rush presence since the days of the Steel Curtain. Garrett could be the missing piece to elevate their defense into a league-leading unit. Speculation suggests that Cleveland might be willing to part with Garrett for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's a hefty price, but in today's NFL, a player of Garrett's caliber is worth it. The Steelers, currently sitting at 6-5 and vying for a playoff spot, would see this as an incredible opportunity. Adding Garrett to their defensive line could boost their sack totals significantly. Some projections put it as high as 60 sacks combined, up from their current 35. That's a massive jump, and it would immediately improve their ability to pressure opposing quarterbacks, forcing turnovers and shortening drives. And the impact doesn't stop there. Pittsburgh's defense, already solid, would become even more formidable. Garrett's presence on the line could help elevate players like Cam Hayward and Alex Highsmith, creating mismatches and freeing up teammates to make plays. His ability to generate pressure on third down, an area where the Steelers have struggled at times, could turn the tide in many close games. Plus, his ability to stop runs as well as rush the passer means the Steelers' defense could become more balanced and versatile. But let's not forget about the potential ripple effects. Cleveland's decision to trade Garrett might be driven by their need to free up cap space and rebuild their roster around Deshaun Watson, who's been inconsistent this season. They're also trying to rebuild their offensive line, which is crucial if they want Watson to succeed long-term. Losing Garrett, however, would be a huge blow to their defense, a defense that's already seen a 30% drop in sacks, from 42 down to 29, after losing other key players and dealing with injuries. That kind of talent drain can't be easily replaced, and it could leave Cleveland vulnerable for years to come. For the Steelers, though, this move could be the spark they need to make a deep playoff run and challenge the AFC powerhouses. Right now, their defense is already playing at a high level, but adding someone like Garrett could push them into elite territory. Imagine the pressure he'd generate alongside Watt, forcing opposing quarterbacks into bad throws and critical mistakes. The Steelers are known for their stout defense and relentless pass rush, and Garrett would only amplify that identity. The timing of this potential trade is interesting, too. The NFL trade deadline has passed, but rumors suggest Cleveland might still be open to deals post-deadline, especially if they believe it's the best way to rebuild quickly. Plus, with the playoffs still in reach for the Steelers, acquiring Garrett now could give them the boost needed for a late-season surge. The AFC North has always been fiercely competitive, but with Garrett on the Steelers' side, they could tip the balance back in their favor. Now, let's talk a little about Garrett's recent season. In 2025, he's been a dominant force when healthy. He played 11 games, recording 18-0 sacks, which is right around his career average, and amassed over 44 quarterback hits. His impact extends beyond just sacks. He's a relentless run defender, with a run-stop percentage of around 36%, and his presence often draws double teams, freeing up others to make plays. In Week 5, he suffered an ankle injury that limited him to just one game, but he returned strong, increasing pressures and sacks in the subsequent games. His return has been a huge boost for Cleveland's defense, which saw a 20% increase in pressure efficiency after his comeback. But the Browns are at a crossroads. They're trying to balance cap space, roster rebuilds, and competitive timing. If they feel that trading Garrett is the best move for their future, especially if they're considering a rebuild or a reset, then the Steelers might be the team to capitalize on that opportunity. The Steelers, meanwhile, could see Garrett as the final piece to their championship puzzle, the X factor that pushes them over the edge in the playoffs. Looking at the bigger picture, this kind of move could redefine the AFC North's power structure. The division has been so tight over the past few seasons, with the Ravens, Bengals, and Browns all vying for supremacy. But if the Steelers add a player of Garrett's caliber, it could tilt the scales significantly. Their Super Bowl odds could improve dramatically, especially with the defense playing at an even higher level. Currently, betting odds for Pittsburgh to win Super Bowl LXI are around plus 1,500, but with Garrett on board, those odds could tighten to plus 800 or better, especially considering how much his presence can elevate the entire team's performance. Of course, nothing is certain in the NFL, and trading for a player like Garrett involves risk as well as reward. His contract, health, and fit within the Steelers' defensive scheme would all need to be carefully evaluated. But the potential upside is enormous. Imagine a Steelers defense that can consistently generate pressure without blitzing. That's the kind of game-changing impact Garrett could have. It's exactly the kind of move that could turn a good team into a championship-caliber squad. And if this deal does happen, it would send shockwaves across the league. The Browns would lose a cornerstone of their defense, and the Steelers would gain one of the league's most disruptive pass rushers. That could also force other teams to rethink their strategies, knowing that Pittsburgh is now a serious contender with Garrett in their arsenal. It's a move that could redefine the AFC North and set the stage for a new era of Steelers dominance. In conclusion, folks, all signs point to a fascinating possibility. Cleveland might be willing to part ways with Myles Garrett, and if that happens, the Steelers should be front and center, ready to pounce. It's a bold move, but one that could pay enormous dividends in the quest for that coveted Super Bowl trophy. With Garrett's talent, leadership, and relentless drive, the Steelers could be on the verge of a new dynasty, one that could bring the franchise back to the top of the league, repeating history, but in a new chapter of Steel City greatness. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think acquiring Myles Garrett is the move that can push Pittsburgh over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Remember, this is a team built on passion, resilience, and that never-say-die attitude. So whether or not this trade materializes, one thing is for sure, the Steelers are always contenders, and we're here to bring you every step of the way. Stay tuned for more updates, more news, and more reasons to believe in the black and gold. We're all in this together, and the best is yet to come.